Very much for sticking around. Thank you for staying with us. It is still iBrand Daybreak, and it is time to talk about money. What are the components of a budget? Last week, the last time that Charles was here, we talked about how important it is to have a budget. Now we are looking at components of a budget. Hi, Charles. Good morning.
Good morning, Uche.
It's nice to have you in the studio today.
Thank you. It's nice being here too. Sammy, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I think I like your tie.
Really?
Coming to your question,
Components of
component of a budget. You see, somebody has asked me that financial therapists, with this kind of macroeconomic conditions we're having here, is it possible for somebody to even do financial planning? And I said, this is even the best time to do it.
How?
Yes, because you have said it's macroeconomic condition, inflation rates, naira unification, fuel subsidy removal. That is macro. But on the micro level, me and you, we complain from morning till night. We will still eat. We will complain from morning till night. We will still take our bath. We will complain from morning till night. We will still brush our feet. We will complain from morning till night. We will still wear clothes, though we might not be buying new ones. So you can say that no matter what is the macroeconomic environment, the micro, things are still moving. Yes. You might say, okay, it's affected also. The macro is affecting individual. You used to buy fuel before, you reduce it. I've seen parents who now, okay, let me use myself as an example. I don't used to eat when I come to the office. Okay, maybe I'll go and buy food and eat. But now, because of this macroeconomic environment, I decided to, okay, madam, prepare something, let me take to the office. So by the time I'm through with the little work, I can take my breakfast and take my lunch. Has that not reduced the expenses? That is it. So if I used to spend maybe 2,000 naira to eat while I'm here in the office, I have reduced that. So those are the kind of things, and that is why budget is key to assist us in doing this. So like you said, we have talked about what is budgeting, and of course we have said look at the benefits of budgeting. So today we'll just look at the component quickly. But before I go into that, I must charge HRO people. This is not the time, because somebody have asked me that you're talking of financial planning. Why are you calling HRO? I said because you can have all the infrastructure, even in the country, have everything in place, all the infrastructure, all your machineries. You need that one human element to operate it. And if that human element, their mental state is not okay, you will not improve. The same also applies to the bigger country. You put everything in place, infrastructure, everything. If that human resource, the people are not happy, their mental state is not stable, they are financially stressed, they will stress that company, they will stress that country. So for every HRO, this is the time for you to show empathy with the worker. Not like what the president is doing. Persevere, please, Nigerians. Bear with me. I know this 50 days has been very, very, traumatic for you all. You can see a little bit of human face. And so that's what HRO should take that responsibility now and begin to see how they can talk to them. Because there's no amount of money you pay anybody that will be enough for. I saw somewhere say they're increasing minimum wage, speculation, 200,000. That is not enough. So the mental stability, financial stability of the individual worker is key at this crucial time. And that's why we're taking our time on this segment. Personal finance with Charles to look at components of a budget. The first component is your income. When you want to start a budget, it takes time because you need to assess your income. Not only what you get from your salary, other side hustles. You need to have an idea, an estimated amount of your income, what you are getting. The next thing is for you to understand your fixed expenses. There are expenses, whether you like it or not, you will incur them. In accounting, they call them sunk costs. It is already there, whether you like it or not. Then you also have your debts. Whether we like, we're all indebted in one way or the other. We can also have your flexible and unplanned expenses are budgeted for. Just that you don't know the exact amount. when that event will happen. You know, we keep saying for you to do your personal finance and to be financially literate, you need to have minimum of 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. You need to have it in an emergency account. So these are just the various components of it. But you also need to make a provision for your savings. These are personal budget. But when you talk of government budget, you know, it looks so big. But the government, before they spend a kobo, it is budgeted for. And the president cannot spend without approval, though the law says he can spend 20% of the proposed budget before any approval. So if as big as a country, they have a budget. So what stops individual to have their own budget? But in executing your budget, first of all, you need to prepare that budget. It's not easy. There are behavioral components of this budget that will enable you implement them. One, commitment. You need to be committed to ensuring that what you have in your budget, you are implementing it. Like we said, yes, sometime. A budget shows you where your money is going, but it does not stop you from spending what you have not budgeted for. That is where commitment comes in. You have to be committed. We know it's not easy. Then there needs to be stability. Regularly, you check your budget. We are not saying budgets are cast in stone. Things can happen. You can adjust your budget here and there. Then you need to be patient with yourself when you start this budgeting. You know, it's like, I keep using this example, like when you are learning to drive a car, you have to be patient. By the time you master everything, you don't even think about it. So the same thing with budget. It's an habit. We keep saying it. Now let me finish. The last one is versatility. Your budget should be versatile. You should make provision for so many things. Unplanned expenses. Things can happen. You need to have an item on your budget that can take care of it, like an emergency. So you just have to have this behavioral component for you to implement your budget. Yes.
All right. So I just wanted to butt in there, because I know there is this usual mentality people do have when it comes to budgeting, or when they hear budgeting, they're always like, okay, this is when I have a stable income or an expected income, then I'll now start, thinking of how to make budget. Now, what about those who don't have such?
Very good question. Now, part of the training we are doing, and this question comes most of the time, people keep asking, somebody who, an irregular income, that's what they are saying.
Okay.
Irregular income, how do they budget? Yes, that is very key, because most persons are freelancers. They're on their own.
They're not on a payroll.
They're not on a payroll, maybe contractors, artisans. How would they now budget? Sure. Now, again, it comes to commitment. On a monthly basis, you can predict the amount of income that comes to you as a freelancer, or on a quarterly basis. You should know that I get this job here, I get this job here. You can estimate. We are not saying it must be 100% accurate. So once you have that estimated income that you always make at the end of every month, then you can begin to budget on that. If at the end of the day you get more, it's good for you. But you should have a reasonable, let's say somebody who is a freelance journalist, he writes for this media house, he writes here, he does this, he does that, he does some training here and there, and he knows that at the end of the month, he gets maybe 500,000. There are some months he will get 400,000. There are some months he will even get 300,000. There are some months he will not even get anything. But on an average, he will now say, okay, let me go with 300,000.
All right.
You understand? Okay. Then you can budget with that.
All right. Thank you so much, Charles, for dropping by the studio. Lots of questions actually that I have to ask, especially about staying consistent and being disciplined. There is a lot surrounding it, but we don't have the time to unpack all that. Maybe we'll continue the next time you drop by the studio. But for now, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. You see, budget is not just a series of numbers, though. It shows, it's an embodiment of your values. Thank you.